Okay, hello everybody. Welcome to another live stream. So my name is Lara Ryan. For those of you who don't know me already, I've been an IELTS examiner for writing and speaking. I'm the founder of Complete Test Success, and I've been teaching IELTS since 2010. So I have a lot of experience doing this. So today I'm going to help you guys with writing general training task 1 essays. So general training IELTS writing task 1 essays. So if you're doing the academic test, this is not going to be beneficial for you. For those of you doing the general training test, we're going to write a letter together. I'm going to get you guys to write the various parts of the letter and share it with me in the comments. Then I'll give you feedback on your work, and I'll take samples from the different submissions. I'll add it to the screen and we'll write the essay together. Okay, so as we're going through the lesson, you can ask me whatever questions you want to ask, and I'll be able to give you feedback on your work. The idea then is if I can find some mistakes that you're making, you will then know what issues you have, and you'll be able to fix them and improve your scores by working on your weaknesses. And of course, you know, as we're writing the essay together, or as we're writing the letter together, you'll get a better feel for what you're to do in your own letter writing. Okay, so the question on the screen here, you have just moved to a new city and want to join a sports club. Write a letter to the manager of the sports club. In your letter, explain why you want to join the club, ask for information about membership options, ask about the facilities available. Now, when we are writing our letter, there are a few ways we can start. So we can say, dear sir or madam. We can say, oh, dead, that's not right. Dear Mr. Smith or dear John. Okay, so it depends on the question type. The different question types require a different beginning. But very simply, for this one, we'll just go with dear sir or madam, because in the question it says, your letter, begin your letter as follows, dear sir or madam. So why complicate it? It's telling us what to do. So we're just going to do exactly that. Okay. After that, we need to write one paragraph for each prompt. And we're going to write about 60 words in each paragraph. So the first prompt that I want to look at is this one. Explain why you want to join the club. Now, where a lot of students go wrong is they will write a paragraph about that, but they'll give some kind of background, unrelated information to begin with. But that won't help your task achievement score. So your task achievement score is, did you answer the prompt and did you develop your answer? So when you start your paragraph with other kind of background information that doesn't directly address the question or the prompt that you've been asked to discuss, this obviously becomes an issue. So my task for you guys right now to begin with is I want you to write the first sentence of paragraph 1. The reason I want you to write the first sentence is because I want to see if you can, in fact, respond directly to that prompt in the first sentence, or are you going to give some kind of unrelated background information instead, which isn't really addressing what the prompt has asked you to discuss. So that is my first task for you guys today. Write the first sentence of paragraph 1, where you will directly explain why you want to join the club. Okay, so I want to see that direct response in the first sentence. So write that, share it with me in the comments, and then we'll take a look at your writing. I'll point out any issues that I can find, and I'll explain how you could improve on that. Okay, so I'll let you guys do that. Share it with me in the comments when you're ready, and then I'll have feedback for you. Sambula says the screen is too dim. There's nothing I can really do on my end about that. Maybe there's an internet connection on my end. Maybe there's a problem with the internet on my end. Sometimes when I start the live streams, the image isn't that sharp, but it should be okay in a moment. The screen is not visible. So I've just had a look. I've just had a look at my end. I've gone onto YouTube and I've checked it on my end, and everything seems to be working fine on my end. So I would guess this is an issue on your end. Maybe it's the settings on your phone or something like that. I'm not sure, but from my end, I've gone into YouTube and I can see it just fine. Yep, I've just checked on Facebook as well, so it's fine there too. Okay, guys, so I'm just going to give you another, let's say, 30 seconds. Write down your response to write down the first sentence of paragraph 1, share it with me in the comments, and then we'll take a look at what you've written. If I don't get any responses in the next 30 seconds, I will just show you what to do myself. Okay, the screen's better. Excellent. Good. I didn't do anything on my end to fix that, so it could be my internet connection. I'm not sure. It's not always the strongest. It's usually okay, but especially at the start of the live streams, it can be a bit blurry sometimes. Okay, so I'm going to get started on this. So the first prompt says, explain why you want to join the club. Okay, so in the first sentence, I'll do that directly. Let me just remove the instructions at the bottom so we can kind of get a better look at everything together. Okay, so first paragraph. I would love to join your basketball club as I have played this sport since childhood, and I would like to continue playing now that I have moved to Dublin. Okay, so basically I want to say that I've moved city and I want to continue playing. I've always played, I want to continue playing, but I've moved city, that's why I want to join. So that there could be the first sentence where I've given the reason why. Why is it? Because I've always played and I've just moved to this city, so I want to continue playing. Perfect. So that there is how many words? 30 words. All right. Now, like I said earlier, we're going to write roughly 60 words in each paragraph. So we're going to have to continue this paragraph. We're going to have to say a little bit more like this. So my next task for you guys is I want you to finish. Write the rest of paragraph 1. So like I said, we need another 30 words. So, another 1 or 2 sentences. So I want you to write the rest of paragraph 1, share it with me in the comments, and I will give you feedback. And then add it to the page, add it to the document on the screen, and then we can move on to the next prompt. So yeah, write the rest of paragraph 1, share it with me in the comments, and then I'll give you feedback. IELTS task 1 is not like this. There are 2 types of IELTS test. There is the academic test, which is probably what you're thinking of, where you have to describe a graph, a map, or a process. But general training IELTS is the other type, and this is exactly what the question looks like. You have to write a letter like this for general training IELTS. only about a quarter of IELTS tests, or about a quarter of IELTS takers, do the general training test. So it's far less common and far less popular. Where mostly when people are doing the general training test, it's for visa applications. Whereas when people are applying to universities and that, they're more likely to do the academic test. But either way, this is exactly what general training task 1 looks like. But like I said at the start of the lesson, if you are in fact doing the academic test, this lesson is not suitable for you. Okay, so like I said, I'm going to give you guys 1 more minute. I want you to write the rest of paragraph 1 and share it with me in the comments. Najmuddin says, please teach us academic IELTS writing task 2. Can you? Yeah, I do. I do a live stream every week, and we cycle through the different parts of the test. So this week's lesson is on general training task 1. Sometimes we look at speaking, sometimes we look at task 2, sometimes we look at academic task 1. So yeah, absolutely, we cycle through everything. I'm not going to stop in the middle of today's lesson and change it, but you're more than welcome to come back when we're looking at task 2 and participate there. Okay, so I'll just give another 30 seconds there and we'll see if anyone is joining in. If not, I'll just show you what we can do instead. Okay, let me jump in and I'll finish this off. Okay, so one thing to be careful with is that you don't kind of cross over and start asking about things we need to discuss in the other prompts. So ask for information about membership options. I'm going to make sure I don't talk about that. Ask about the facilities available. I'm going to make sure I don't talk about that. Okay. So let's say something like this. As far as I know, you are the only such club available in this. Maybe not available. A club wouldn't be available. Just the only such club in this neighborhood. So I would really appreciate if you would allow me to become a member. All right, so how many words is that? 58. Yep, that's fine. Okay, so now that we've written roughly 60 words about the first prompt, we need to move on and discuss the second prompt. So the second prompt being ask for information about membership options. Okay, so I'm not sure if I have any general training students joining me today. It seems like I have a few academic students. So I won't wait as long this time. I'll just give, let's say, 1 minute. Let's see if we get a response. And if not, no problem. I'll just move forward. So what I want you to do is write the first sentence in response to that prompt. Ask for information about membership options. So what's really important is that we give a direct response in the first sentence not say something general and then respond in the second sentence. We only have 20 minutes. We're only writing 180 words in our letter. So we want to directly respond to the prompts and make sure everything we say is about what we've been asked to discuss. When does IELTS writing take place? So I assume you're talking about task 2. Just subscribe to the channel, and when I schedule the lessons, when I schedule the live streams, you'll get notifications. I'm not sure, like I'd have to go and take a look at my schedule, but eventually we will get there. It might be next week, it might be 3 or 4 weeks. I'm not sure exactly. Okay, hi Nikitin. Which day do you explain to us to be confident in IELTS Part 2 writing? Yeah, so if you want to look, I have made videos already. You can go and take a look at those. And then when the live stream comes up, you're welcome to join there as well. I'm very good, thank you. Could you teach us to write IELTS Academic Task 1? Yes, so in other lessons, when I will focus on those, there will be task 2 lessons where I focus on those. I'm not going to stop in the middle of this lesson and change it. It's been scheduled as a general training task 1 lesson. So we won't be changing in the middle of today's lesson. But yes, I do look at all the other parts of the test. You can go look at the other live streams that I've made previously. You can go and look at the other lessons, the recorded video lessons that I've made previously. They're all on YouTube. They're all on Facebook. Just take a look. There's plenty of stuff going back. And yes, moving forward, I will look at those other lesson question types in the future. Okay, so I haven't got any responses to ask for information about membership options. Now, obviously, look, paragraph 1 goes here and paragraph 2 goes here. You know, obviously it's going to go there, but just because I want to keep the question on the screen while we're writing. So I'll just put paragraph 2 up here for now, and I'll move it into the correct position later on. Okay. So I'm asking for information about membership options. I was hoping that you could tell me more about the prices of the various memberships that you have available and what the differences are between them. Okay, so there I've asked directly for information about those membership options. Again, this is about 27. This is not about, it's exactly 27 words. But our paragraph needs to be about 60 words. So we're not finished. We're not finished writing this yet. So again, I'm going to hand it over to you guys for a minute. And I want you to write the rest of paragraph 2. So this is going to be roughly 30 words more that we need to finish the paragraph. But again, remember, you're staying completely focused on asking for information about membership options. Don't start talking about anything else. Completely focus on that, and share it with me in the chat. I'll give you feedback there. Najmit, you're very welcome. Nicotine, no problem at all. Do you have an IELTS certificate? How many scores did you get? I'm getting a job interview here in the middle of today's lesson. I was an IELTS examiner. I was an IELTS examiner for British Council. I'm not an IELTS student. I was an examiner, and I'm a teacher. I'm a coach. So I haven't sat at the other side of the table. Okay, thanks. You're very welcome. I joined your channel. Yeah. So I'll usually schedule the live streams. It kind of depends on my mood on that particular week, but it could be, 3 or 4 days before, or maybe as late as the day before. But I'll always schedule them in advance. So, you'll get a notification, you'll see the date and the time, and you'll see what topic is being covered in that lesson. It's very unusual for no one to participate in the lesson. It's very rarely that I'm, writing the letter myself. Normally, students are sharing their work. I'm giving them feedback and helping them. At the moment, I'm just writing the letter myself. In fact, I don't think this has ever happened before. It's a small channel. I don't get massive numbers of viewers, but this may be the first time that no one has actually been involved in the lesson. So if you guys are doing general training and you want to get involved, please go ahead, share your writing with me, and I'll give you feedback. Otherwise, I'll just plow ahead by myself, and we'll probably finish up in the next few minutes. Okay, so I'm going to jump in. I'm going to finish this one off. So I think if we're looking for information about memberships, maybe just explain a little bit more about what I need. So I'll say something like, I would mainly be playing in the evening time from Monday to Friday after I finish work, as I have other commitments that I need to fulfill during the weekend. So basically, I'm just saying, giving them a little bit more information about, what I'm looking for. And that is 56 words. So again, that's fine. So that's paragraph 2. Like I said, I'll just drop it down here where paragraph 2 belongs. And we have one more paragraph to write. We need to look at this, ask about the facilities available. So that's the last prompt. So that's going to be our third paragraph, asking about the facilities. So again, just in case some of you guys are going to join in. Sorry, that's wrong. So again, I want you to write the first sentence of paragraph 3. So paragraph 3, ask about the facilities. Again, like I said, when we were starting paragraph 1 and paragraph 2, I want that first sentence to be a direct response, not talking generally about facilities, not asking about something else, asking directly about the facilities available straight away. So that should be the first sentence of paragraph 1. Do you have a channel on Telegram? I don't. I'm not on Telegram. Can you give me high score if you check my writing? Probably not, to be honest. I can help you improve your score, but I'm not going to pretend that it's better than it is. Because I'm an examiner, no, definitely not. Since I have to work different shifts, I cannot participate every time under current membership options. Are there any more flexible choices? No. So in the question, it looks like this is your first time contacting them. So it says you've just moved to a new city and you want to join a sports club. So you've just moved there, you want to join it. So from the context of the question, it seems like you don't know anything about the memberships. So you're just asking. So instead of saying, I can't participate every time under current membership options, you need to write like you know nothing about the membership options. So you're just asking, right? So instead of saying, I don't like the membership options you have, can you do something else for me? Just ask about the membership options. Like the question says, ask for information, not ask them to change it. Like you already have the information, but you don't like what you saw and you want them to change it. That's very different from asking them for information about membership options. So don't adapt the or change what the question means to make it easier for you to respond to it. Whatever you say has to be a direct response to what the question has asked. So that there would probably reduce your task achievement score down to band 5 if you've written it in a way where it doesn't really, you're not really doing what you were asked. So your task achievement score would suffer a lot by not closely reading the question and doing what the question has asked you to do. This is general training IELTS we're looking at today, folks. Okay, I'll give you guys another 30 seconds. Let's see if anyone responds with the first sentence to paragraph 3. Okay. And let's jump in. I'll take a look at it here myself. So again, like I said, paragraph 3 obviously goes below paragraph 2, but let's just do it up here for now so that we can keep an eye on everything in the question while we're writing. And the reason is because whatever you say has to be directly related to what the question has asked you to discuss. That's why whenever you're writing, you need to keep an eye on the question and make sure you are actually responding directly. Okay. I was hoping, did I use that phrase already? I was hoping I did. Okay. Also, can you please tell me a little bit about the facilities that are available in your sports club? Okay, so we can just start there. And then as usual, we need to finish that off. Now that is a little bit short, but it's not a problem that it's short. But the last one's my first sentences was about 30 words. This time it's 19. So we need about another 40 words to finish this paragraph. Every body paragraph will be approximately 60 in total. So we need about another 40 words. I'm just going to jump in and finish it myself here now. In the previous, well, let's say in my previous club, there was a gym available for the members to use, as well as regular tournaments organized between all the local clubs in the area, and I was hoping, I said I was hoping earlier on, didn't I? I'm back to that same phrase that's stuck in my head today for some reason. And it would be beneficial if you offered these as well, something like that. Okay, so as you can see in my writing, it's not very complicated. In terms of vocab and grammar, I'm not trying to use very complicated, obscure vocab. I'm not trying to use the most complicated grammar structures. Keep it simple, keep it direct, just answer the question as clearly as you can. Okay, and finally, I need to sign off. Yours sincerely. So that is suitable for a formal letter, which this one is, because we're writing to a person we don't know. That's why we started with dear sir or madam. And when it's a formal letter, we sign off with our first name and our surname. That there is a full essay, a full letter done. And that there would easily get band 8.5 or 9. I haven't read back through it myself, so there might be some small issues in terms of range or accuracy that I didn't notice. But in terms of task response and coherence and cohesion, that's all nice and tidy. And that's what the full answer would look like. Okay, so I think that's pretty much it for today. Bit of a pity we didn't have more participation in the lesson itself, but not the end of the world. Hopefully you guys have learned something from this either way. And yeah, that's it. A lot of you were looking for me to do lessons on academic task 1 and writing task 2. As I said, those lessons do happen. Keep an eye out, and I will be covering those parts of the test in upcoming live streams in the upcoming weeks. So that's it for today.